Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a beautiful Shabbat and Sunday. I hope you had a chance to spend some time outdoors in this wonderful weather that we're having. I love being outdoors, and I even love insects. And like many of you, I think one of my favorites is the ladybug. And here we have an insect with a very strange history to its name. In English, ladybug, but in French, la bête à bon Dieu, the dear Lord's bug, or the cow of the Virgin. Other languages, God's little cow, Little Mary, or the cow of St. Anton, good luck beetle, Mary's beetle, the sun's little child. It seems as if many cultures had a certain fascination and appreciation of this little insect. Going back a few centuries in English, we didn't call it ladybug. It was actually called cow lady or lady cow. But why? Why does this bug with 5,000 different varieties acquire all these names, particularly names of religious significance? Well, specifically referring to the English name, ladybug, the lady part is actually referring to the Virgin Mary, because the variety that we're most familiar with, that Europeans are most familiar with, has 7 dots, and people have suggested this has to do with Mary's 7 sorrows. But more generally, people like ladybugs because they actually help maintain crops. They eat pests that destroy crops. Also, because of their coloring, many other creatures are warned from eating them. And so they provide protection to humans, and also they seem to have God's protection because of their color. And therefore people associated them with religion and with God. But what about Hebrew? How do we call ladybug in Hebrew? Parat Moshe Rabbeinu. Moses, our teacher's cow. And to understand that, we have to go back to the Yiddish. So Yiddish obviously took the word for ladybug from the surrounding languages that it had, whether it was Germanic languages, Slavic, etc. So we had Meshichela, little Messiah, Moshe Rabbeinu's Behemela, or Moshe Rabbeinu's Kelila, Moses' little cow, or Moshe Rabbeinu's Sverdala, Moshe's little horse. And the Hebrew just translated from the Yiddish to get to Moshe's little cow. Now obviously for Jews, they weren't going to go with the Virgin Mary. That made no sense. And it wasn't appropriate to talk about God's cow or God's beetle. So they decided on Moses. It's going to be Moses' cow. And Moshe was also chosen because this beetle is considered by some, the ladybug, to be humble, just like Moshe Rabbeinu. But one more thing. One of the wonderful parts about being home all day is the opportunity to listen in from time to time as my kids learn. And as Ezra, my middle one, was learning about the story of Moshe, he was taught, of course, that Moshe was placed into an ark, into a raft, and placed in the Nile. And how do you say Moses in the ark? Moshe Bateva, which is also Hebrew for pig in a blanket. Because when this idea of a miniature hot dog wrapped in phyllo dough made its way into Jewish culture, into Hebrew culture, calling it a pig in the blanket in Hebrew didn't make a lot of sense. And so they thought, Moses in his ark was a much better choice. The fact that we eat it makes me second guess that decision. That's what it is nevertheless. Here's your word of the day, Parat Moshe Rabbeinu, ladybug. Hope you have a great one.